All right, my name is Ryan. Welcome to the Java Dog String Adventure Part 4 video. And what we're going to do in this one, we're going to make sure that we've got everything situated, and we're going to go ahead and start room 2. So if you don't have these files, the room 1 string room control, you might want to go back and create those. We're going to go to File, New, Java, and we want to go ahead and make our room 2 class. And make sure you save that in a proper location. So File, Save As, and let's see. I always have to change my directories right here. There we go, room 2. So call this one room dos. Okay, and go ahead and save that. Once you're inside room 2, we're going to go ahead and start it off by importing the Java utility package here, and we want to create our public class room 2. Let's go ahead and get our fancy little curly braces there, and we want to create a constructor for room 2, and let's put it right here. Okay, nothing serious. I'm gonna go ahead and tab that over just so everything's nice and organized. Oh, I'm missing one. Okay, boop, got it. All right. Oh, wait a minute, you're playing tricks on me here. All right, make sure we save that, and hey, wait a minute, that was weird. I hit Control S. So let me delete that, and it should save it. Shouldn't be no problems. End run and continue. Should be able to compile it. Go back to your string room control. Then you remember correctly, I think on the first video or the second video, I accidentally put the room 2 object here getting created on line 8, and we commented it out. Let's go ahead and get rid of the comments, and let's make sure it compiles. And there you have it. Room 2 now officially can get created as an object. Okay, so we're officially done with room 2. Let's move on to the next video.
Talking about raise.
We're actually going to take a long time for room 2. It's pretty robust, and this actually gets more into what a text-based adventure game should look like. Here at the beginning of the room 2 class, we're going to create some variables, and I'm going to go ahead and paste those in there for us. And so first thing we have we're creating some more directions. This is another direction array of these string values right here. Then we have our pickup items. We'll be using these words as well. Got a bag of Cheetos, so for you Cheeto fans, we got you covered. And then we have some action words, and then we're going to have an array list. This is kind of cool. We'll be able to keep a fluctuating inventory of values into this array list here. And you'll notice that we use some new tools here. We use these little angle brackets, or when I was in elementary school, our teacher called them little alligator faces. I guess if we drew some teeth and some eyeballs, I could see it. Well, that's what I did in the 3rd grade. I would always draw alligator faces on them, and teeth. I had to have the teeth. But anyhow, these angle braces, or alligator mouths, if you want, they will tell us what type of array list object we're going to have. In this case, we're creating an array list type of string. Okay, so the inventory, everything that goes into here will be of a string value type. Okay, and again, this is like a constructor right here, but we put the data type right here, so that way the program knows that only string values can get stored within this particular array list object, which is called inventory. Down here we create some more variables. These are kind of self-explanatory. First request, we'll just begin some user input with this. Visit count, I use this just to help keep track of how many times I go back and forth between different rooms. It's not really there for a user, it's just there for me to validate that we're actually accessing the same objects over and over again. We probably won't see it too much being used, but it's good to have that for testing purposes. First request alt, that's similar to the one you saw in room 1. Then your good buddy, the scanner, right down here. Okay, so room 2 object, we're going to leave this blank. I really don't need to have that, but I do like having it there. If we want to expand upon it, we can always do that, but for now we're just going to keep it nice and simple. Now once you have all this in here, you can test out to see if it compiles, and don't forget there's a little curly brace down here on line 24. Okay, so make sure it compiles, shouldn't have any major issues. Below room 2, we're going to create a method similar to what we had in room 1, which was, the room 1. I believe the method was called room 1 explorer. So if you are going to be a predictor of the future, I'm going to let you guess what we're going to call this method. If you guessed, ta-da, get info on room 2, you are absolutely correct. Okay, and you can see right here we call our visit count. So make sure you get that in there, and that kind of expands out. I don't like that very much. So let me press enter, tab it over, and this is perfectly acceptable right here to have multi lines on your system.out.print line. Technically you can do that with any code, but I just happen to do it with this one. Don't forget you have to have the concatenation symbol, or the addition symbol if you will, right here at the end of this. Okay, and go ahead and compile that. It should still work. No issues. Fantastic. Now let's go over to our string room control, and we're going to put in some code that allows us to take our room 2 object right here, and we're going to call on this room 2 method, get room 2 info. Okay, so that way we have something to put on the screen and we feel really good about ourselves. Put your mouse cursor right there in front of the else. We're going to put another if, or excuse me, else if in between this, which is going to allow us to make a ability to check to see if the user entered in room 2. So go ahead and check this out. I just copied and pasted this in. I'll highlight it so you can see what I just did. So I just added this information in on line 34 to 39. And what we're doing is same thing as we've done before. We're going to check to see if they entered room 2. If that's true, then we're going to print out that you'd like to go to room 2. And then we will call the method room 2 get information on room 2. Okay, so you should have all that in here. Make sure it compiles. Okay, and no major problems. So let's go back over to room 2. I made a change that I want you to check out. Right here on room 2, what I had done is I switched the visit count to go into the front. Okay, I just cut it from below and put it to the top. The difference was I started thinking that some people might get confused by making the addition to visit count after the visit, so I went ahead and moved it to the front. So that way whenever we're looking at our visit count, it keeps it up to date with your current visit to the room. So make sure visit count is now on top of that system.out print line right there. Okie dokie, come back here to string room control. Everything should be good. And let's go ahead and run this program, see what happens. Let's go to room 2. And it says it looks like you want to go to room 2. Room 1. Okay. That added because of this value right here. Remember, it started off as 0 from up here. And it says, where do you want to go? I probably should have changed this right here. That's kind of confusing. This is what ties into right here. Okay, the reason is it makes you think as a new user that we're trying to prompt you to enter information, when in reality we're not, because if you look at the code, after get info in room 2, there's nothing there. So it just ends, okay? So it just kind of, you know, it ends. But here on the program, down here in the console, it says, do you want to end the adventure? So it is prompting the user. I'm going to go ahead and type in no, and I'll explain what's happening. Which room do you want to go to? That looks kind of sloppy. We'll clean that up here in a second. Let's say room 2. You can see right here it counts it. Okay, if we keep doing this over and over again, it's going to keep adding values. We don't want to end adventure, room 2, and it keeps increasing over and over again. Do you want to end adventure? Yes, and it ends the code. So let's keep track of where everything is here. We can just walk through one little instance here. Okay, again, right here in string room control, we ask the user which room they want to go to. At the very top, right here on line 24 and 25 and 26, we get that information. Then we typed in room 2, which is right there. And then right here, that's true, so it looks like you want to go to room 2. That's where that comes into play. And then the method gets called get info on room 2, which is from over here. Calls this method, adds 1 to visit count, prints out the line. We don't do anything. that pretty much ends everything for this particular class object, and there's nothing else to do. So the focus gets transitioned back over here to string room control, and there's nothing to do with this. And we ask right here, do you want to end the adventure here from line 45? And you can see right here, that's what's happening on this particular point in time. And we type in yes or no, and if we answer yes, then it ends the program by calling down to the program exit method, which gets us out of there. Okay, now let's see, I had some sloppy editing on here. Where did it go? Okay, so here we go again. Which room do you want to go to? I need to do this. I'm going to put in a /n, so that way we have a nice little carriage return whenever we get to that point in time. Let's see. Yeah, look, that should look all right. So let's go ahead and run it again. Let's go to room 2, and let's say no, and there we go. That looks a lot better. It says here we go again. Which room do you want to go to? Prompts the user, exit. Oh, yes, I want to enter or end the game, and there we have it. So we are officially done with this particular video. I hope your room 2 works. If not, rewind the video, go back, check out the code. Everything should be up to speed for you, and we will build on room 2 in the next video to make it a much more robust text-based adventure game.